Have you ever noticed that there's a lot of elitist a-holes on YouTube that make people feel bad about how they pronounce certain terms and names in Dragon Ball? This is something that has been a thing for probably as long as Dragon Ball content creation on YouTube has been a thing. And it's annoyed me for years and years and years. Because here's the thing, very, very few of those people that I'm talking about actually speak or understand Japanese. Their pronunciation is absolutely horrible. So they're saying that actually this is the way you pronounce a Japanese name when they themselves are butchering that name. When that's the case, you might as well just stick to the English name. So today I'm going to go over a few of the most popular names and terms in the franchise and show you the accurate way to pronounce it in Japanese. Let's begin with the name of the franchise that we love, Dragon Ball. How do you say that in Japanese? Well, it's not Doragon Boru. There is no hard R sound in Japanese. Instead, it's pronounced
ドラゴンボールはピッコロ大魔
一番くじドラゴンボール VS
今夜はドラゴンボールや忍たま乱太郎など
ドラゴンボールの中で
Doragon Boru. The R equivalent in Japanese is more like a D. It's often described as a tap or a flap because you lightly touch the top of your mouth with your tongue.
This is your mouth, this is your tongue. English L touches here, la, la, but Japanese R touch around here and flap, la, la. So it's called flap R.
And so you end up with dora, da, da, instead of dora.
Larirurero, larirurero. Practice.
Second, boru. It's not boru. That's because boru has a long vowel in it. This is very common in Japanese. This is something that does not exist in English, and it confuses the hell out of native English speakers. But often, not elongating the vowel results in a completely different word. And so you don't say boru, you say boru. Put that all together and you end up with Doragon Boru. Next up, we have the name of the main character of the show, Goku-san. No, that is not how you pronounce it in Japanese. In Japanese, it's
Son Goku.
Son Goku が
Son Goku. Three things I want to point out here. First of all, it's not son, it's son.
Son!
The S-O is not pronounced sa, it's so. And the N is not pronounced like a typical N, it's more like an NG. Think of the word song. Just take that N, put it with the so, and you end up with song. That N should be coming from the back of your mouth, not the front area.
Son Goku.
And then the first name is not Goku,
改めて大きな拍手お願いしますおっすほら悟空きた
it's Goku. Go and then ku. This ku, just like Boru, is a long vowel. So it's not Goku, it's Goku.
悟空の本当の名前貴様は悟空ではないカカロットだ
If you're not elongating the vowel, you are pronouncing it incorrectly. Next up, let's talk about what is probably Son Goku's most famous technique. No, it's not the kamehameha, it's the kamehameha.
カメハメハだ
いろんなキャラのカメハメハシーン4選。
ただの気候派であるはずのカメハメハを悟空がいつまでも使っている理由を
カメハメハの初登場は
All you need to do if you want to remember the pronunciation is think about what they say when they're about to shoot it. They say kamehameha. That is the pronunciation. Just repeat that but faster. And now let's talk about Big Green himself, Piccolo. How do you pronounce his name in Japanese? If you answered
Piccolo.
you are wrong. That's because the correct pronunciation is
ピッコロピッコロは
ピッコロ。
Piccolo. If you write out the Japanese pronunciation in English, you'll notice that there's two K's there. That indicates a glottal stop. That's a fancy word for a double consonant. So what you do is you pronounce the first part of the word, pik. You stop, and then you pronounce the second part of the word, koro. You stop in between the two consonants. And I am sure that some of you can't even hear the difference between a single and a double consonant, but it matters. Native Japanese speakers can hear the difference. And here's one last one. Frieza.
I am the mighty Frieza.
The correct pronunciation is
普通のフリーザ
殺しますよ。
フリーザの声真似講座。
Frieza. Couple things I want to point out here. First of all, the most important thing is that you do not use the English F sound. The rough equivalent of an F sound in Japanese, which again is not at all an F sound, is not produced by biting your bottom lip.
It's like blowing a candle very gently. Fu, fu. And be careful with the vowel u. It's not u, but u.
And the other thing I want to point out is that there's another long vowel in this name. So it's not Frieza, it's Frieza. So again, if you're biting your bottom lip, if you're puckering up too much, and if you're not elongating that E sound, then you are wrong. Frieza. If you're still watching, thank you. I just want to make it really clear here, though, that I'm not trying to get people to use the Japanese pronunciation. In fact, I don't exclusively use Japanese pronunciations. I don't think I've ever said Goku in a single one of my videos aside from this one because I was talking about how you pronounce his name in Japanese. So I think it's totally okay to use the English dub pronunciations. I think it's okay to say Saiyan or Saiyan, whatever you want. I think it's okay to mix up the pronunciations like I do. And I think it's okay to use all Japanese pronunciations. Granted, if you use only Japanese pronunciations with some people, you're going to confuse them. So you're going to have to deal with that. But generally speaking, I am totally okay with using either the Japanese or the English pronunciations. And I think that's just proof of how incredibly popular Dragon Ball is. Thanks to its popularity, there are people around the world who have watched it in Spanish and English and just about every other language you can think of. People pronounce these names and terms and all this stuff in different ways, and I think that's incredible. I love that. So never feel bad about using the English pronunciations. But if you do want to use the Japanese pronunciations, well, at least now you know how to pronounce some of the most popular names in the franchise. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment and let me know because I'm considering doing a series that is kind of inspired by this one. I might call it something like Dragon Ball Dictionary. So if that sounds interesting to you, drop me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this one, I think you're probably going to enjoy my video about why Yajirobe speaks in a Nagoya dialect. See you in the next one.